Hello everybody, welcome back. Here we go. Bitcoin smashing its way into the box. This is something we were talking about yesterday on the Patreon. I sort of said, look, if we close above 17,500, we go straight up. We also said it about on the Patreon live stream, to which we're doing another one tomorrow. We're doing twice a week, by the way. If you want to join, join. Links in the description below. £7.50 a month. The pound's worthless at the moment, so it's a bargain. We were saying this about a lot of things on the weekly. So we are pushing these 10 exponentials on the weekly. Lots of things are pushing 10 exponentials on the weekly. Once you break that 10 exponential on the weekly, we have a very good chance of moving up, right up to the 21. Now, this is something I was saying on my video last week, saying, you know, this is how we can get to 19,200, which is your 21 exponential on the weekly. It's also the descending triangle formation to which we've been in since we broke out of the bearish formation, the giant bear market formation, and into this new, we'll call it the FTX formation, the one that brought us into a smaller descending triangle. So there's a lot of that would be a very significant area for us to reach up to, and probably one where we'd see a significant rejection from. But at the moment, it does look very sweet. And again, I've been pretty bullish for a little while. I have been anticipating and waiting for a smaller pullback given to us by what would have been the euro, but the euro has discounted so much, and the dollar remains pretty laggy, pretty weak, to be honest with you. And doesn't mean that we're not going to get this move. Again, a lot of these moves that I anticipate are based on dailies and even weeklies, and so, you know, it can be frustrating, I suppose, to talk about this to you all day after day after day. I'm only looking for a pullback of what is probably going to be about 2 to 3% on the euro here, and it could happen from here, it could happen next week, and blah blah blah. Anyway, it's the same old, same old. But today we do have something else going on, so rather than just sort of speculating further about exactly the same stuff, because that's basically all I'm saying. I'm basically just parroting my own videos from the last couple of weeks, really. We have the CPI data coming through, so we turn our attentions to the Trueflation data, brought to you by the Chainlink Oracle. Come on, Chainlink, get yourself some Chainlink. We are looking like we're entering a new bull market. It'd be rude not to buy some Chainlink. Anyway, what I'm thinking is, just like we saw last time, and we have been seeing this consistent downside here on the inflation. Generally speaking, this is overall inflation. Again, this is not the official figures. This is Trueflation, so independently crunched numbers. But more or less, I would say it's doing the same old, same old. And it's showing us very nicely and steadily that we peaked over here, and we've been going down and down and down ever since. This is the USA, obviously. Don't look at the UK. It's not the same. Okay? It's not the same. We're focused on the US. The US is what really counts. And this time round, unlike last time when we were looking at this, there was certain peaks in certain areas, you know, that could be caused, or that could be. Well, there is, not could be, there is the core CPI, which sometimes can affect the general vibe of CPI data, even though that it shows that inflation is going down. Certain aspects of the inflation going up, like food and fuel, or other things, they can upset the apple cart. But at the moment, everything seems to be going down or staying static. Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because if you remember the last CPI coming through, we were rallying into it, very much like what we're doing now with Bitcoin and traditional markets. We're all rallying into it, having a great time. And then the CPI came out, and it was favorable, and we started to dump. Same thing happened with the FOMC and the rate hike. We were rallying into it. He's going to do 50. He's going to do 50. And he did 50, and the market dumped. So let's not get too crazy. The market loves to price in the expectations of the event. Buy the rumor, sell the news. All right, so just put that into context. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Look at these weeklies, nice big weeklies, rallying basically from was it 16,500 or lower. We have done a decent rally here so far on Bitcoin. I know that doesn't sound much, but it is, all right? And look, we're talking about bull markets. We are talking about bull markets. We've been talking about bull markets since September, and the precursors to a bull market. First thing we look for, not the only thing, but the first thing we look for would be to reclaim moving averages on a weekly. And we've done that significantly at the moment. That's still sitting over here at 17,500. It's a big deal. We look for divergences on money flow index like we got here and here, here and here. Marking the absolute lows, by the way. And boosh to boosh, the absolute low. Boosh to boosh, the absolute low. Hang on a minute. Boosh to boosh. Is that the absolute low? It could be. It's a liquidation event, just like this capitulation and this black swan. It could be. It could be. Might not be, but it could be. And anyway, regardless of all the sound effects and whatever, I'm talking about buying the rumor, selling the news. We could be selling the news today. It looks to me like CPI is going to come through quite favourable. I think markets expect that. I think markets have priced that in. I think might see a bit of a sell the news event today. That's complete speculation on my part, but they don't have a phrase like buy the rumor, sell the news, unless it's basically something that happens so regularly that it warranted getting a term to describe it that everybody's aware of, because that's what happens all the time. So that might be what we're waiting for. I buy the rumor, sell the news on the back of the CPI, which is going to come through favourable. And it's good for the long term. It does set us up for possible bull market territory. And again, you know, bull market, like last time, just to continue saying the same thing I always say, bull markets start or have started with the 10 exponential being reclaimed and then the 21 exponential being reclaimed, let's just say. That's where the fun really starts. People so stuck in the perma-bear phase that they fail to recognize that actually you can get very, very powerful moves from Bitcoin when you least expect it. And I remember it clearly when I bought back here. I bought back here below 4,000. I remember buying it and people saying, "What are you doing? Can you not see this chart? Can you not see this chart? Crypto's over. It's dead, man. It's dead." I hear it frequently, to be honest with you, and I've been hearing it a lot recently. And previously I only just set up my channel around here. To be honest with you, the channel I set my channel up somewhere in the bear market, but I didn't really contribute to it. But yeah, I set my channel up when I thought I'm going to start trading this. I'm going to move into crypto. It would be rude not to. And yeah, I remember it clearly. People say, "What are you doing, man? This is just crazy." And I do it over here. But I recognize that telling people to buy is not the way to do anything. To explain people the risks and rewards is probably the best way to do it. But to say, do this, do that, you're an idiot, you're a genius, that's not for me to say, because nobody really knows, do they? Nobody really knows what's going on. It's just like going to place a bet on a football game, and the odds are in your favour. That's when you take the trade. So I'm not one of those people. I do like to mock, obviously, the super noob masters who come on and mock me. That's fair game. But if you miss a trade, it's no big deal. It's a 24-hour market, 7 days a week. You miss one trade, get the next trade. No big deal. No big deal. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. I feel as though now with the CPI coming through today, we're likely to see a pullback anyway as the rumor gets, the news gets sold. I would still be looking for this to probably hold above each one of these areas, 17,500, super resistant, super support, sorry. And if that fails, no big deal. 16,500 is still a very significant area to keep, which is, to be honest with you, seems quite unlikely that we do come down in that area now, because we've surfed these moving averages so significantly that then 16,900 would be the last area of major support. And since we've come up to this area right now, it seems pretty unlikely that we do sink that low that fast, although it is possible. But today is a real gambler's day. It's probably best to stay clear. I've took all my profit from the trades that I've done, so I've got nothing riding at the moment. That's fine. Obviously, I've got hodl bags, of course. But as far as the trades that I took over the weekend, so I bought a load last Friday, Saturday, started selling Sunday, Monday, and yeah, all my targets have been met for all my coins, every single one of them, even Algorand's, right? So all of my trades are done, but I am still definitely looking to get back in on trades, and it's the same old, same old. We wait for the pullback on the euro, which may or may not happen, but if it's going to happen, it will happen today because the dollar is likely to see a spike on the back of this CPI, which is probably going to come through favourable. That sounds counterproductive, I know, but that's what I think is going to happen. And then we buy the dip, not immediately. We wait for the dip to be a bouncy dip, and we will need to see the reaction of the dip, but it still looks pretty good. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough now. I hope you have a nice day. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, like it, leave comments. Join the Patreon if you want to do the live streams with us on Tuesdays and Fridays. Discord, everything. It's all there. It's all in the links in the description below. Anyway, take it easy. Have a nice day.